At one time, he was the top Democrat in the nation's capital.
These days, Harry Reid watches Washington from his perch in retirement back home in Nevada, where his top priority right now is getting healthy.
He's fighting cancer, but he's also weighing in on some of our top issues. He sat down with our Jeff Gillen.
That's right. Good evening, everybody. Harry Reid may be retired, but he's watching politics like a hawk. He left the Senate in 2017. Harry Reid's new job? Beating pancreatic cancer. He was diagnosed last year, and it sounded real bad. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm doing fine. You know, the cancer's in remission, and my mobility is not as good as I'd like it to be, but the chemo messed up my back a little bit. But I feel good, and I'm strong, and just don't move around like I used to.
He's better. Sounds like the old Reid. I met him Friday at his office at MGM Resorts, where he's an unofficial counselor, observer, advice giver. He left Washington as Donald Trump arrived. There's no love lost. He told the New York Times in January Trump was the worst president we ever had. Told CNN a few weeks ago.
I just have trouble accepting him as a person.
So I'm expecting a real Reid roundhouse. Has he done anything that has surprised you?
I am not going to say any more about Donald Trump. I think that I've said enough, and as my mom used to say, enough's enough.
That's all I got. Trump's apparently old news. Reid's looking to 2020.
And I don't think there's ever been a better field of candidates than we have now seeking the Democratic nomination for president.
At last count, 14 have declared. We talked the same day one of the Democratic candidates stopped in Las Vegas. Reid tells me he won't endorse until after the Nevada caucus next February.
There's just one qualified, strong candidate after another. Now, who's going to win the nomination? I don't know. If I were betting right now, of course, the person that would get the chits as far as betting would be Joe Biden. But he hasn't decided if he's going to run yet. And if he does, we'll have to see what happens.
Reid's biggest Nevada legacy will be the Democratic machine he built. This last November, it scored big, sending Jackie Rosen to the Senate and Steve Sisolak to Carson City. Sisolak is the first Democratic governor in 20-some years. Reid's impressed.
I think he has done a remarkably good job. He has been on top of things.
Reid is not impressed with former protege Ruben Kihun's run for Las Vegas City Council. Kihun left Congress after women claimed he sexually harassed them, charges he's denied.
Well, he has a right to do whatever he wants to do. As much as I liked Ruben, I had to tell him I can't support you for this race.
Reid's office is a testament to his 4 decades of public service. He was Mike O'Callaghan's lieutenant governor. Then he was chair of the Nevada Gaming Commission. Back in the day, the mob literally tried to blow him up. So what did he think of the $20 million fine against Wynn Resorts for not stopping Steve Wynn's alleged sex assaults? Too low? Too high?
But I do know that they took this and they looked at it, knowing the rest of the country's looking at it. They know Massachusetts is looking at what they did. So I would think that $20 million is a pretty good start.
His Senate chair sits in his MGM office. A final thought. Does he miss the Senate? Reid told me there's a time for everything.
That was my time. So I don't miss the Senate. I watch it very closely. I don't stand over Schumer's shoulder and tell him what to do. I call him once in a while.
He's content, he tells me, to finally be home for good. And our entire interview, and folks, we cover a lot of ground, is on our website at news3lv.com. I'm Jeff Gillen.